give me thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
OneBlood, a national blood donation center, recently experienced a cyber attack that has now affected hospitals across our state. Today, we're calling on all Floridians to consider donating blood to help ensure a strong and healthy blood supply for Florida. The state of Florida is partnering with Life South, Suncoast, and other local blood centers. To find a blood donation center, visit floridadonates.com. This message is sponsored by the Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Are you passionate about addressing health disparities and improving the health of your neighbors? You could be the next American Heart Association First Coast Leader of Impact. Join the 2024 class of Changemakers and compete to raise funds for life-saving research and inspire lasting change in our community. The campaign kicks off on October 17th. Nominate yourself or another local leader by contacting AHA First Coast at heart.org today.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Eagles get wideout Jahan Dotson and a fifth-round pick in a trade with the Commanders today. Washington gets a third-round pick and 2 seventh-rounders. The Panthers get cornerback Michael Jackson in a deal with the Seahawks. Seattle gets rookie linebacker Michael Barrett in return. The new college football season kicks off Saturday with 10th-ranked Florida State against Georgia Tech in Dublin. ESPN's Kirk Herbstreit says it's the Seminoles' debut for quarterback DJ Uiagalelei.
Now I feel like he's going back into kind of like what he did at Clemson, where they're going to have to be able to be a team that relies on him to spread people out and make plays with all the skill that they have. And I just can't wait to see how he plays. I think the Clemson experience really humbled him. I think he went out to Corvallis, put in that work.
Kirk Herbstreit on College Game Day. Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz gets a one-game suspension from the NCAA related to the recruitment of transfer quarterback Cade McNamara. The Hawkeyes open the season a week from Saturday against Illinois State.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Friday, I'll tell you which division in the NFL will be the toughest division to win. It's on Sportsman, like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio. Turn it up!
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
And a fine howdy do. Welcome to a Friday edition of the Aaron Schachter Show on a Thursday. It's party time, Brian. Get those dancing shoes on. You 6'8" delicious piece of chocolate. It's your new nickname.
That's a nickname longer than
6'8" delicious piece of chocolate?
That's too long, right? I understand if your nickname is longer than your regular name. Like if your name is Sam.
Yeah.
Right? But you're like a home run hitter.
Yeah.
You know, you're like the Bronx Bomber.
Okay.
Isn't that a name?
Yeah, it's the name of the Yankees.
Right? Yeah, sure. I get that. But
Worst team in baseball, by my opinion. That's
whole
fine.
phrases, like,
As a nickname?
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mark Henry, I don't know if you know that name. He's a wrestler. I think he either currently or used to wrestle with WWE. His name was Sexual Chocolate. But I feel like it's going a little too far with you. You're an upstanding citizen in this community. Can't be calling you Sexual Chocolate. Like a 6'8" delicious piece of chocolate fits you better.
It's still.
Tell you what, it's not on my diet, Brian. 25.1 pounds as of this morning.
Ooh, 25?
Listen.
Boy, you just started this 3 weeks ago, isn't it?
It was about 4 weeks ago, but that's all right. Listen,
sheesh.
I'm wearing a Carathon shirt today because today starts the fundraising for Carathon,
Yeah, man.
10th annual.
Yeah, what?
And they were handing these shirts out a couple of weeks ago. And so I look at Rich, and I'm like, how are these things cut? Because, some shirts, they're very favorable on the arms.
Yeah.
Maybe even make your chest look like you did a couple of push-ups.
Okay.
Don't hug you in the gut. But Reg Jones over at WOKV, he was very informative and let me know they're cut kind of small.
Yeah.
So I picked up a double XL.
Yeah.
And here I am, 25.1 pounds later.
Swimming in it.
I'll tell you what.
You child.
When I left Carathon this morning, I took an XL with me to wear tomorrow.
You got your boyfriend shirt on? What's going on, man? Golly. That thing is huge, mate.
Your boyfriend shirt. That's funny. I like that, Brian.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're a funny guy.
Okay. That sounds like you're saving one up for later now.
Nope,
Okay.
Nope.
That's all good.
You made me laugh. And that's the great part about this show, Brian. When you're feeling like a piece of garbage, you tune into us. We'll make you laugh. You still may feel like a piece of garbage, but at least you'll be laughing about it.
You might be a piece of garbage, though.
You might. I mean, I'm not here to judge.
Your feelings might be in tune with truth.
Believe me, most people listening, if they knew me for me, they would call me the same. That's fine. We can all be garbage together.
It's a pretty bad take.
Speaking of bad takes, my guy is Warren Sharp on Twitter. I love Warren Sharp and his analytics.
It's a pretty bad take.
No, I was playing.
No, listen.
If you like him.
He's that dude. He is the king of analytics.
Okay.
I'm subscribed to him for fantasy football.
Nice.
I love watching this guy's content. But there was an interview going on where, who was it? It was a receiver that was on the Bills it was a Texans interview. It might have been a radio guy. I think it was a radio guy. Talking to Stephon Diggs. Talking about C.J. Stroud hitting him across the middle. And the guy goes, that's not a pass you would normally see from Josh Allen. And if it was, he wouldn't be hitting you in the numbers like CJ. So that was just like a throwaway line. I think the radio guy was just trying to buddy up to Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, Team Texans, right? And then Warren Sharp gets on Twitter and he goes, this might be the worst take of all time. And then he just goes into a dissertation on stats. He goes, in the last 2 years, Josh Allen, 10 yards in the air, is the number one quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's like, horrible take, try again. And I felt for the radio guy.
Nah.
Because he got it wrong.
No.
But he's just trying to have a take.
Man, I feel like even C.J. Stroud heard it in the distance. It was like,
I just feel like if I had a whole Warren Sharp listening to my takes on this show, it'd be nothing but content for him for the rest of his life. Bad take after bad take.
Hey, man, keep them coming so people can keep listening.
Is that why they listen? Bad takes?
Engagement is everything.
All right, well then how's this for a bad take, Brian? We begin the day with news about a former Jaguar who has completed his master plan.
It's a pretty bad take.
Yeah.
It wasn't a take yet.
Oh, okay.
Although the master plan thing is the take. But okay. So you remember Nathan Rourke.
I do.
He was the CFL quarterback who came into camp last year.
It was cooking.
Ended up being a preseason hero with a Mahomes-like pass on his way to the ground. People wanted to see Nathan Rourke really badly during the regular season, especially when Trev went down. But by then, I think Nathan was already on the Patriots. He had been waived, and he got picked up by the Patriots. That obviously didn't go well. There's no one really to throw to on that team. But you would think Nathan Rourke would have a shot to make the roster. They let go of Mac Jones. They still had Bailey Zappi in camp. They drafted Drake May, who, as Merrill Hodge told everyone, is going to get you fired. And they got Jacoby Brissett, who looks like he was in line to be QB number 1. So you're like, all right, maybe Nathan Rourke had a shot. Didn't work out for him. They let him go. Turns out this was all a master plan by Nathan Rourke. According to NBC Sports Pro Football Talk, Rourke's new deal with the BC Lions in the CFL is going to be worth $600,000 in 2024 and 2025. It doesn't sound like a lot by NFL standards.
Good for him.
He becomes the CFL's highest paid player in the league.
When the contract kicks in? Back up.
I know what you're saying. I understand.
What do you mean by that?
$600,000 does not sound like a lot.
No. To me, right? I thought you were going
by
to
football standards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you're like what, tripling the league minimum for veterans. But you're under $1 million a year, which some rookies are making.
Is that the punchline?
It's not the punchline.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
No, that was basically it. Nathan Rourke back in the CFL, and he's there for the most money in the entire league. Now, you're getting fixated on this $600,000. Maybe you want to be his agent or something.
No, I was thinking that you were about to say after the first 2 years, he's going to be the highest paid because
$25 million a year. No,
there you go. Is that what's happening?
That is not what's happening. I don't know if you know this about the CFL, but not many people watch. Yeah,
I don't know anybody that watches.
Yeah, so $600,000 is actually a lot of money. Like, how much does the top badminton player in the country make? Because I'll tell you, it ain't $600,000.
Well, never mind. Okay. I'll tell you in the break.
Fair enough.
It's a great joke.
Okay.
I should do it as a this or that.
Okay. You should do it right now. Well, maybe not. I don't know once you get in trouble.
I stopped myself. Tiger Woods stopping myself in the swing. You know what I mean? Because I heard a camera flash.
Your judgment, your decision-making gets way better without the sports freak Michelle Thibodeau in the studio. When she's here, you love to walk out to the edge of that plank, put your little tootsies over the tip, and go, am I going to jump or no?
My name's not on the marquee. So I'm just like, hey.
You're playing footloose and fancy free.
Hey, I'm like, hey, man, let me throw this alley-oop out up here and see who dunks it.
I'm sitting there looking at my health insurance and 401k going, please, guys, please don't do this anymore.
Hopefully Aaron gets to this dunk before Michelle does, because if he don't,
it's trouble.
We got to scrape the show.
Shout out to Nathan Rourke, who played at Ohio University from 17 to 19. Threw for 60 touchdowns in 3 seasons. It's not like he wasn't cooking,
Jeez. Okay.
But nice big contract over there in the CFL by CFL standards.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Yeah. Also, maybe this isn't good news. Well, it's not maybe. It's definitely not good news for the Jaguars. You start with the good news in Nathan Rourke. We pivot to the bad news in the fact that the Brandon McManus lawsuit has been beefed up by the alleged victims to really point the finger at the Jaguars, Brian.
Oh, man, come on, man.
The Jaguars are now firmly in the sights of the alleged victims in this case.
Okay. Well,
the new complaints basically say this. There's a clear rule by the NFL, right? And it's that there's no drinking on team flights. 0 tolerance. No drinking, no drugs, obviously. Right? The drugs are illegal. According to the complaint that has been amended, it now says the Jaguars routinely disregarded this important rule by allowing the players to bring alcohol on flights and by failing to enforce the screening policies. They go on to say the Jaguars also routinely disregarded this rule by allowing passengers to consume alcohol on board. And with all teams in the NFL, specifically within the Jaguar organization, it's an open secret that the no alcohol aboard NFL flights is an absolute joke. The new complaint also says NFL teams commonly disregard most FAA rules related to flights. So if you're wondering what they're talking about the lights going on when you take off and land. According to the complaint, they leave them off the whole time. They don't ask people to quiet down for the in-flight announcements. Sometimes those in-flight announcements aren't even made. They fail to enforce rules like seatbelts and tray tables. I can tell you this, I haven't been on a Jaguars flight in 9 years now, but the 2 years I was on them, I definitely never had to wear a seatbelt. I definitely never got told to put my tray up. I definitely never got told to turn my electronics off, no matter where we were in the flight. I definitely never got told to listen to an announcement, but I also never did drugs or alcohol with the team. So what? I'm not sure how accurate this is. But in paragraph 3 of the complaint, as we continue,
still complaining?
My goodness,
okay,
bro. I mean, this is going to be big, possibly.
Okay.
It accuses the Jaguars of creating 2 different seating areas on the flights for the team.
This sounds reasonable so far.
One area was for those wishing to rest and follow the rules.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know the players and coaches involved in that area, but you could imagine some of the lower key players not less important, but guys with the low-key personalities.
Okay, Senator.
And you got a few of them. No, I'm just saying. You don't.
Everybody not a star. I hear you.
I mean, honestly.
Everybody not a star, Aaron.
No, it's not about being a star. I'm just saying.
It is about.
I don't know what these guys are doing on the flight. Yeah. I'm not saying one is and one isn't. I'm just saying I imagine. I speculate.
Okay.
A guy like Christian Kirk or Trevor Lawrence isn't throwing back shots in the back of the plane and getting grabby with the flight attendants.
Is that what the other
I
section
imagine.
was for? Okay.
Okay. The other section was for those wishing to drink to excess, play cards or dice, and party. In other words, despite having a rule that players can't drink alcohol, the Jaguars allowed to exist a specific seating area that such behavior could take place. And Brian, the complaint continues. Dozens of people ostensibly watched Mr. McManus assault the plaintiffs, quoted from the complaint. This is not me. Assault the plaintiffs during the flight and did nothing to stop it, which allowed it to occur multiple times after the first assault. The negligence claim against the Jaguars has expanded to include additional specific allegations, such as allowing players to bring alcohol and drugs on board flights, allowing players to consume alcohol and drugs on board flights, creating an environment that facilitated players to consume alcohol and drugs on board, witnessing the subject conduct but failing to report it, and more after that.
More after the alcohol and drugs?
Less exciting. So to me, it seems like this. If there's evidence to any of that, Jaguars will be very quick to settle this lawsuit or the multiple lawsuits aimed at them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that has nothing to do with the McManus portion of the lawsuit. They're suing these entities separately.
So, hold on. I thought that this was a part of it. This is not a part
No, it's part of the same incident. But if the Jaguars settle, McManus is still on the docket. If McManus settles with the victims, Jaguars are still getting sued until they figure that out.
Well, the 31 other teams as well are just like, well, let's make sure, guys. Huh? We got to clean it up this season right here.
I will say every couple of years, you do get one of these stories. We remember the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't. Remind me real quick.
Oh, man. This was a while back, maybe a decade plus ago, where the Vikings would do like it's not a cruise ship because they're not by the ocean. I don't know what you'd call it, but they basically take a boat on the lake, and they take all the players and the front office, and then the cheerleaders would basically be used sometimes, not all of them, sometimes as a form of prostitution. This was a big scandal. Big scandal. These girls being pressured and or paid for these acts on this boat. That was with the Vikings. The Commanders had a similar issue a couple of years back where there was all kinds of bad activity happening within the organization that Daniel Snyder was running at the time. They got threatened to be hauled in front of Congress for that one. Daniel Snyder ended up being forced to sell the team because the environment was so bad. So I got to imagine the NFL wants absolutely nothing to do with this. I got to imagine Shad Khan and the boys want nothing to do with this. They certainly don't want any more of these allegations coming to the front, right? They absolutely don't want actual evidence making it out to prove that this happened. I think they're going to throw as much money as they can at this thing as soon as possible.
Interesting,
As soon as possible.
I mean, listen, I guess a win is a win. I'm trying to figure out why no one was listening to me when I said Riley Patterson will have his day. You were rude the day that you got rid of Riley Patterson the first time.
What does this have to do with Riley Patterson and Cam Little? Cam Little's the kicker. Oh, because it was Brandon McManus.
The first time, because all I heard is all the same praises that I've heard about Cam Little. No knock on Cam Little. I think he's going to be great. I'm glad he's on the team. But when you do Riley Patterson dirty, these kind of curses happen.
Well, hopefully you have my hotkey up because we are getting a piece of breaking news that broke today. Headline: Commanders release Riley Patterson after agreeing to trade for Cade York.
Hey, man, do Riley Patterson right, man. I don't know how you make it right with him, but until Jaguars, listen to me.
All right.
If you ever watched The Color Purple, you know this very well what I'm about to say. Until you do right by Riley Patterson, until you do right by him, you're going to have lawsuits upon lawsuits.
It's a curse.
You're going to have a bunch of Brandon McManuses doing what they did. We would have never known.
Allegedly.
We would have never known. Allegedly ever known.
Right.
that there was dice being shot, shots being diced.
I mean, I feel like the dice is the least offensive part of the accusation.
We would have never known about the alcohol and drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
multiple times.
Who knows what drugs they're referring to? It could be like
Tylenol. Could be Tylenol.
It could be anxiety medication, whatever. Or
could be Ambien.
It could be Ambien. It could be the stuff that the sports freak was telling us about.
Because we know.
We heard the expert.
That stuff works. I hear.
I wouldn't know firsthand, but I heard secondhand yesterday.
The Riley Patterson curse is a real thing, Jacksonville. I'm on your side, but hey, you gotta do right by him. Do right by him. All this stuff goes away. Mandela effect. Did that really happen? It didn't even really happen. You just gotta do right by Riley Patterson.
Interesting. It's almost like time traveling. You go back and fix the past.
Hey, man.
Patterson was claimed off waivers by the Commanders in late July, kicked in the team's first 2 preseason games. He missed 2 field goals in the second game.
Now we talking.
Dan Quinn was like, now we not talking. We're not talking anymore. As a matter of fact, I never want to see your face again. Get out of the building.
Hold on, Dan Quinn. I know you're not talking. Once you had a Super Bowl up by like 94 points, you better, man, calm down. Talking about you don't want to talk to me anymore. Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, not for Riley Patterson.
No,
but,
absolutely
or
not
the
great
Jaguars,
for Riley
to be real
Patterson.
with you.
Right.
Or Shad Khan's pockets.
Or Brandon McManus. Or really anybody involved.
Well, no, I'm not, Brandon McManus, allegedly, if this is true, you brought it on yourself. I'm talking about Shad Khan. He had to deal with the scammer.
Amit Patel.
Yeah, Patel, the scammer over here.
$22 million.
And now the people that are probably suing him say, yo, take that, double it, huh? And hand it back to us, okay? With interest. That little 22, nah, we ain't talking.
You can just imagine the meeting where like Shad and his lawyers slide a piece of paper across the desk. And then the flight attendants and their lawyers look at the paper. They add a few zeros to it, slide it back across.
They're still writing right now. They're like, what you writing on there, man? Social Security number?
They're like, you better throw in the mega yacht. I don't know what you're doing right now. You better throw in that mega yacht.
Boy, that sucks for him, man.
That's a big stain on what has been a hopeful preseason filled with good feelings and camaraderie, great news around the Jaguars, and then you see something like this, you're like, ugh.
No wonder they fought so hard for the city to pay, help pay with that stadium. He's like, man.
You wonder if anything's going to come out of this and drugs portion. Because clearly, you got to believe if the Jaguars are aware of illicit drug use on the team, they wouldn't put up with it, that they would drop the player or suspend him or something. Put him on the non-injury, not playing football list and, figure it out, guy. Do a little Stetson Bennett action, allegedly. No one really knows why Stetson Bennett was missing from the NFL last year, but we do know he had like 3 or 4 incidents with drinking before the season started, and then he came back to camp and was like, I feel like a new guy. So I think that's the way teams like to do it when that happens.
You can't do it with half of the roster, my boy. We're like, why you show it with 26 people, man?
And you certainly can't do it with court documents.
And drugs. Court documents and drugs.
We'll see what those are, maybe. Maybe not.
I told you it's Tylenol, ibuprofen. I can never say it. Advil.
Well,
that's a drug.
We're not Advil. We are the radio version of Ambien, here to put you to bed. Just kidding. I'm doing an impression of 1010 right here.
Oh, no.
Okay. That was, you want to try it again?
That boy done dropped 25 pounds, and now he's super witty. I like it, Mike.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. Back in a minute.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Have an umbrella nearby today with on and off showers and a few thunderstorms. Peek at the sun from time to time, too. And temperatures topping out in the 80s, dropping into the 70s tonight with some more rain. And your Friday will be partly to mostly cloudy with showers and a few thunderstorms, highs in the mid-80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jag.
Jaguars football is right around the corner. New players, existing superstars, and a great home schedule have optimism at an all-time high. Tailgaters delivers a premium experience every game. Tailgaters parking is right across the street from Everbank Stadium. Tailgaters offers clean, permanent restrooms, a full-service bar and grill. All parking spots are on well-kept grass lots. Demand is high, so spaces are very limited. Get your Jaguars season parking today at tailgatorsparking.com. Don't wait and miss out. Go to tailgatorsparking.com.
Okay, boss, there's the back door.
You sure this business don't have safe-touch security?
Positive.
What the heck is that?
It's my new impact drill I got for my birthday. Might help us if we run into a business with Safe Touch security.
Okay, you know we don't go near Safe Touch businesses. Besides, how would you expect your little doohickey to get us past Safe Touch Security's video monitoring, two-way communicator, and rapid response time? Now what do you have?
My new night vision goggles. With these babies, I can see Safe Touch signs from blocks away.
Huh. Gotta say, that's pretty genius.
Really?
Well, yeah. I'm always on board if it helps with the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses
and businesses.
All right, MacGyver, let's go.
No alarm system gives you peace of mind like SafeTouch. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Right now, state-of-the-art SafeTouch security systems are up to 50% off. Call now, 888-723-8682, or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
In a crisis, your number one need is food, because when things go sideways, it's always one of the first things to sell out. But if you wait to stock up, all you'll find at the grocery store are crowds of desperate people and empty shelves. That's why FEMA and the Red Cross say you need at least 72 hours of non-perishable food. But here's the good news. For Patriots, the trusted preparedness company is offering listeners of this station a special buy one, get two free deal on its best-selling 72-hour survival food kits. This new and improved kit has 20 servings of delicious food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all designed to last for 25 years. It sells for $29 and has been rated 4.4 stars by thousands of happy customers. But when you act quickly and buy one kit, you will get two more kits absolutely free. That's 3 kits for the price of one. $58 in free food. Go to freefood1.com. That's freefood1.com. This deal won't last. Go to freefood1.com now.
Connect with us on Facebook.
What do you mean by that?
Search for @ESPN690Jax and check out the latest sports news, live stream, or show clip.
Now we talking.
ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901 is the phone number. If you want to jump on in, you go ahead and do so. The 10th annual Care-a-thon happening right now in Nemours Children's Hospital. I was there this morning helping out a little bit. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be doing our live broadcast in the morning from my other station, 96.9 The Eagle. Shout out to those of you who listen to me there. And then I'm going to head on out for a little lunch, come back, and then we'll do the show live tomorrow, the Aaron Schachter Show, from the hospital with Reg Jones and a few other special guests. But there is a programming note for tomorrow. You know, you've got FSU starting out their season in Dublin on Saturday. We have a special edition of the Coaches Show tomorrow. I believe it's from Dublin, if I'm not mistaken. Should be. There's no way Mike Norvell shouldn't be in Dublin already. He's just going to fly there with minutes to go before kickoff.
No, they left last night around 9 p.m., sir.
I got to believe it, yeah. Wonder if there was any, you know what, never. I was going back to the Hell Naw story from yesterday about a flight from Boston to Dublin. You hope it goes a little better for the Seminoles over there. In any case, Coach's Show from 3 to 4 tomorrow, then from 4 to about 6, I believe. We will be live with the Aaron Schachter Show from Nemours Children's Hospital for Care-a-thon, and then we will go quietly into the weekend, hitting our goal. Very excited about Care-a-thon. Brian, I brought a band out there this morning. Shout out to Yacht Rock Review, who's playing Daly's Place tonight.
That sounds fun.
With a couple of other bands. They are a tribute band. They only play soft pop rock from the 70s and 80s. So like Hall & Oates, Phil Collins, Toto Africa, those kind of songs. Songs you would imagine you'd listen to if you had a little more zeros in your income hanging out on the water on your 50-foot boat.
You know, speaking of Hall & Oates, at one of my other jobs, I told you they play music. That's one of the reasons I know that you gatekeep, because they don't gatekeep. You know, you hear 80s at 8 or 70s at 7. But the weird thing is 70s at 7 will be playing at 4:30 a.m. I don't know. Anyway, my point is this right here. Hall & Oates, the Private Eyes song, right?
Yes.
Famous song.
Private
Big
Eyes
song
Are
right
Watching
there.
You. Clap, clap. Yeah.
I've heard it plenty of times. I've heard it in commercials. I've heard, what do you call it when they make, not a mockery, but they do a
parody?
Yeah. I heard parodies.
Okay.
Great tune.
You like it?
Right? Great tune. Neat, even.
Not a big fan of the stage clapping in songs, but okay, go ahead.
But man, I listened to the lyrics, at least what I could catch today. Got to be real with you. Sounds like if I had the gatekeeping sound up, sounds like that would be happening for whoever's actually acting out those verses that they're singing in the song.
Listen, you're actually taking me down a rabbit hole that maybe we should get to next week because I think we could spend a good 20 minutes on this. There are some bands / songs with lyrics that we've all been singing along to for years, and I don't really think that we all understand the meaning of those lyrics. For instance, just Sting and the Police, okay? Two of their biggest songs is what's the one that Puffy ripped off? I'll be
missing you.
He did I'll Be Missing You. Oh, it's I'll Be Watching You is from the Police. Every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you. And so people thought that was a love song. So couples all used it when it came out. People dedicated it to each other. Sting gets interviewed and he's like, "No, this is a song about a stalker. You guys are definitely not interpreting this the correct way." Then there's another song from the Police and Sting called "Don't Stand So Close to Me." And I don't know, just on the title, I'm like, no, this is a song I can get with.
You knew about COVID before COVID.
Literally, everyone put it on their pandemic playlist. But then you see an interview with Sting, and they asked him the inspiration for the song. This dude right here, who, by the way, was like sought after by women all over the world, still is respected as a celebrity superstar. Very few people have a negative opinion of him as a person. He's a philanthropist and all this stuff, a talented musician. Don't Stand So Close to Me was inspired by his time as a substitute teacher at a high school.
I love it.
Where the 14-year-old girls were so attractive, he was telling them to get away from him.
I didn't.
You do
expect
love
the
that.
second half.
Oh, no. You said you love it.
You got me on the first half.
You said you love it, Brian.
Yeah, well, I thought, again, my mind, I got to stop assuming with you because you got punchlines that just go
It's
left
not
field.
a punchline. It's for real.
No. I'm saying I thought that the second half was going to be like, I was a substitute teacher and I couldn't stand being near these kids. I wanted to do anything but substitute teach. Don't stand so close to my desk. I don't know the answer. I won't be here next week.
Not even close to that. No.
Not that.
He's like,
he didn't say that. He didn't say that they were so
literally
attractive.
as part of the interview. When we do the full segment, I'll bring it to the show. I'll read the direct clip. But like, there are a few of these out there where you're like, is it okay to like this song? I'm not sure that it is anymore. Or you hear about stories about Steven Tyler.
Oh, no.
Steven Tyler.
He's going to start playing these over here.
Steven Tyler is a huge classic rock celebrity. Frontman of Aerosmith recently had to retire because he can't sing anymore. He mashed up his vocal cords at the end of last year. But he was also at the time being sued by his two separate women for sexual assault when they were underage. One of them claims he went to her parents and offered to become her foster father because it was illegal at the time for an of-age Steven Tyler to take this underage girlfriend across state lines. That was called trafficking. Still is. And so he needed permission, and the way to get permission would be to become this girl's foster parent, the girl he was in a relationship with.
I got hotkeys. I'm scared to play. They would work, but holy smokes, what?
And no one cared for 40 years.
Now, see, here's the deal. Now here's the deal, okay?
We're definitely not getting a Press Taylor. Go ahead.
Here's the deal with this. I had to make sure.
You are calculating right now.
I had to take a deep breath
All
before I say
kinds
this.
of disclaimers flashing in your brain right now. What do you got?
R. Kelly should be in prison. My personal opinion.
Okay.
The thoughts and opinion of me right now doesn't display.
Who's coming for you with that? That's not a hot take.
No, I'm talking about ESPN 690. You know, we play those disclaimers before shows.
Sure.
So let me just put that out there.
You're not going out on a limb here.
The stuff that Diddy's being alleged to do.
Oh, boy.
If it is true, you know?
Yep.
The jail time, the prison time that's associated with it.
Okay.
I'm just hearing about these two stories right here.
Yep.
Now, the Sting thing is super weird. I mean, weird, and you know how strongly you felt about the age gap dating?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting there now.
Yep.
Especially with the substitute teacher story.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Tyler walking around, just performing, not performing anymore, just mashing his vocal cords, just living life. And ain't no uproar about that.
Just living life.
That's wild, man.
Not just living life.
I don't like that.
Living life as like a 9-figure millionaire. Living life as one of the most respected classic rock musicians of all time. Like, no one cared. The lawsuit was happening. Everyone was like, oh, we'll just reserve judgment until it's done. Well, clearly they were going to settle the whole time.
This must have been the 1900s, because the 1900s I hear were a wild time.
1970s.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's making more sense.
And by the way, that's what Steven says. He goes, it was a wild time for me. I was all coked up. I was on all kinds of drugs.
No. All right, well, get clean in the Slammer.
He did.
Yeah, in the Slammer.
Not in the Slammer, though. He got clean on tour making millions.
If that would have came out in 2024, he'd be plastered all over the place right now on IG.
You'd like to believe so. You'd like to.
It's happening.
Okay.
At least with a few people.
But like guys like Karl Malone, Steven Tyler, all these people who did this dirt back in the day, there's no consequence there.
Just give it enough time.
I mean, what's it been, 30 years for Karl Malone?
He's out of the spotlight.
It's those cowboy hats. Keeps him safe.
No one sees him as a threat anymore.
You know what I mean?
In Cowboys gear.
Well, in any case, we should go down that rabbit hole another time when I'm more prepared, because I got a few of those songs. For instance, you know the song "A La 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 Long"?
Not at all. Matter of fact, not at all. Never heard that song before. Not that rendition anyway.
It's the hook. It's not. I can say the hook on the radio. It's just very suggestive. I'd rather play the song.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But the song itself, you listen to the lyrics, you're like, are they talking about consensual relations or no? And then you're like, wait, I was singing this as a 9-year-old? What?
Whoa.
Yeah. So I think there are a bunch of songs like that.
Who's the artist? Would I know him?
No, it was probably one and done. I want to say Circle something, but then I just keep thinking of Circle K, and it's not Circle K.
Okay, yeah, you don't slander on Circle K.
A La La Long. Who is it by? It is by Inner Circle. I got the Circle part right.
You're right. Never heard of him.
You never heard this song? Now you're going to make me play it?
No, you don't have to play it either. I'm just saying, I never heard of it before.
All right, let's
never
see if
heard
you know
of
this.
them.
Maybe not the beginning here, but when they break into it. Come on. All right, this is. Hold on, here we go.
All right.
Standing across the room, I saw you smile.
Nothing.
I can get to the hook, maybe.
All right.
For a little while, but before I make my move,
I see you singing it now, though. Okay.
My tongue gets tied.
All right. Here comes the hook right here. Just focus on the words.
Okay.
Not this singing part. Right after.
Oh.
You know what he's looking in?
Looking in your big brown eyes.
Ooh, girl. Here we go.
I've got this to say to you. Hey. Girl, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more.
Oh, okay.
And if you cry out, I'm gonna push some more. Girl, I want to make you.
I don't know if I ever really listened to it. I don't know if I ever really listened, but
I no longer feel good about the song.
Okay, hold on, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Run that back one more time.
It's like,
what'd you say?
The producer was in the booth going, what?
I'm still bouncing, but I don't.
Massive hit when it came out in the 90s. Massive hit.
Yeah.
It crossed all kinds of platforms and pop and R&B stations, all kinds of, and no one questioned those lyrics at all.
Either way, man, Steven Tyler, that's what. Sting, look, my boy, someone needs to dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I
Cold
think
case.
they've dug and they've said, we don't care enough. I think that's what happened. But, you know, words matter, Brian. Words matter when singers sing them. Words matter when flight attendants and their lawyers file briefs and amended briefs.
With drugs and alcohol.
And words also matter when you're giving press conferences.
Yeah, I saw what you do right there, man. Good job. Yeah.
You know, I have certain kind of answers that I like, certain kind of answers that I think are okay, and then certain kind of answers that I get really annoyed at.
Okay.
Right? And I tell you from time to time, every once in a while you get an answer from somebody and you're like, you know what? Maybe it wasn't the most eloquent. Maybe it wasn't the most charismatic, but you know they're telling the truth. You know they're telling the truth. For instance, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. There's an interview happening out in Vegas. Reporter talking to a dad and his kid about the upcoming Raiders season. And so the reporter looks at the kid and he asks him about the outlook for the Raiders season. Listen to the honesty on the kid.
I'm listening.
That is not playing, and I'm not sure why. I wonder if I didn't change this back. Is it supposed to be, how about this now? All right, that's not working either. What is going on here? What if I did this?
If you're so into the NFL, you know your Raiders, I can tell right here. How are you feeling with the team this year?
We're not going to the Super Bowl.
All right. He sees Minshew at quarterback, and he's like, maybe I like Minshew, but I know we're not going to the Super Bowl. The reporter wants to dig in.
Oh.
We're not going to the Super Bowl. I already know it.
We got a realistic Raiders fan here. This is odd. This is the first interview I've ever had like this. The Super Bowl chances are not good, but what is it going to take for the Raiders to have a successful season, you think?
What is it going to take, Brian, for the Raiders to have a successful season? What's the kid going to say?
Get Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Oh, so get more
Travis Kelce.
Get more talent. All right, let's see what
Chris
the kid,
Jones.
Let's see what so basically change the Kansas City Chiefs to the Las Vegas Raiders, annex the players. Let's see what the kid said.
Chances are not good, but what is it going to take for the Raiders to have a successful season, you think?
Not to get arrested.
Not to get arrested.
Yo, this
Kid's
kid's going
honest.
places. This kid is going
Kid's
places.
honest.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, what
Yeah.
about Sauce Gardner? Have you seen the latest Sauce Gardner clip? Here's an example of an answer where Sauce doesn't necessarily articulate in a truthful way, but you know how sometimes I tell you, Brian, be wary of the pauses.
Yeah.
Be wary of how long it takes someone answering the question to formulate the answer, because it'll tell you a lot about what their instincts are telling them in their brain.
Okay.
Sauce Gardner was asked about Daniel Jones. The Jets and the Giants just had a joint practice. So they said, what do you think about Daniel Jones' play, who, by the way, was atrocious the last couple of days?
Good for him.
Here's Sauce Gardner trying to articulate his thoughts on Danny Dimes.
What was your opinion or takeaway on Daniel Jones?
He's a good quarterback. You feel me? I thought I was about to pick him off today. I had a little cloud rip.
All right, so it took you 12 seconds to get to something other than and he's a good quarterback. And what you got to was I almost picked him off. It continues.
No, he had looked at the last minute to try to throw the check down to Wandale. You know, I thought I had to pick, but he kept it.
Was not asked that, by the way. We're back to trying to figure out what Daniel Jones is good at.
I mean,
he's thinking. Thinking.
The competitive periods, it was very competitive.
What about Daniel Jones?
It was great. Like,
still going.
I had fun out there today.
Okay.
You know, I don't really know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
Hell no.
Hey, man, what do you think about Daniel Jones? I don't know what to say here.
It's not a weird question, but I mean,
they were asking him to give the scouting report, assess him. What's he good at?
We'll say that. Say that next time.
They did. Listen,
what was the question
front
again?
of the question. Here comes Connor Hughes with the question.
Let's hear it.
What was your opinion or takeaway on Daniel Jones?
What was your opinion or your takeaway on Daniel Jones? We got, he's a good quarterback. I almost picked him off. I'll describe that play to you.
I had fun.
I had fun.
Period.
And I don't really know what to say next. Next question.
I mean, yeah, I think, yeah,
Is that
that's
not
funny.
honest? All right, fine.
That's funny.
Fine.
That was funny.
Let me give you an example of extreme honesty. Okay? This is what I want to see from every head coach. What I'm going to play you right now is a clip from Miami of Ohio head coach Chuck Martin being interviewed by a member of the press out at the Miami of Ohio spring practices. Listen to how honest, direct, and forthcoming the answer is from this head coach. I wish every press conference went like this.
All right, special teams, lost your kicker. Carter McLaughlin.
He's at, we didn't lose him. He's at Alabama. We know exactly.
I understand
We know
that.
exactly where he's at. Like, you media people, it's all pretend. Like, no, Alabama stole our kicker.
Yes,
they illegally recruited
I didn't want to say it,
They
Coach.
illegally recruited our kicker and stole him from us. And like that's a fact. But that's but we act like it's not. We live in this la world. Like, hey, let's not talk. I don't know why
Here we
everybody knows
go.
what's going on. So, yeah, Alabama stole our kicker. A couple other schools tried to steal it, but then okay, what's the question?
Okay, what was the question? But he had to get it out there. Those scummy Alabama guys.
Whatever. He acting like that. Your kicker ran. It didn't take much.
He said a
It didn't take
couple of
much to
people.
lose him. Yeah.
A couple of schools tried to come for the kicker. Apparently, Miami of Ohio doesn't have that NIL money built up.
Yeah, man. Pay more.
Pay more. Keep
That's
your
a
guys.
frustrated head coach right there.
Totally.
We didn't steal your kicker. We're nothing illegal about it. You know what was illegal? That kind of talent, that kicker at Miami of Ohio. That was the only illegal thing, Coach Martin.
Well, look, Coach Martin's sitting there going, look, it happens all the time, and we just pretend like it doesn't. Shout out to him. He's saying it.
No, he chooses to use certain words, and there are other words to describe the same act.
If that was the NFL, you think Roger Goodell is coming for him?
If he's answering the media like that?
If he's talking to the media and the Jaguars are like, man, we wanted Riley Peterson, but those guys at the Commanders came over and tampered, and then Riley Patterson went over there.
Yeah, I guess. But there's a certain well, I don't know if there are buzzwords or kind of words that trigger the
like tampering?
NCAA. Yeah, like tampering.
Well, this guy said illegal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If those are the same type of words, yeah, probably, because the NFL is just very. I do enjoy it. Makes for great theater.
Oh, yeah.
Great radio,
Of
great
course,
audio.
yes.
But I was just like, no one stole your kicker. No one stole. He has to go. And he wasn't yours. It was just your turn until someone with more money and more resources came in. Get in a relationship sometime, Coach Martin.
I buy that if he legally left for Alabama. But if Alabama tampered,
if it was illegal, they could shut it down. If they didn't do things, if they didn't do things the right way, they could shut it down.
How?
Right?
If you don't have evidence, but you heard.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, you're right. Now you're just talking. Now you're just talking.
Well, what if the coaching staff is talking to a former teammate of this kicker before he left, and they're like, Nick Saban called him last night, or whomever. Alabama boosters were calling.
The same way that you just stopped me with McManus in the A block and said alleged, then put that word in there too, since you love, describing things in a certain way, sir. Put alleged in there. You want to put illegal? You want to put stealing?
You're talking to me. You should be talking to Coach Martin.
Well, that's what it's kind of lumped together.
I don't know
that
that he likes the word alleged. He might not even know it.
Well, he likes making accusations that sound true with no evidence in that short time, then got the audacity to be like, let me ask you the question.
He really clowned that dude with the microphone, too. That dude was just sitting there trying to laugh off the answer. It was like, no, we're going to talk about what Alabama did to us today.
Like, your media types, like, you know what? You coaching types that come here and just win 5 games,
You don't like Miami of Ohio?
Can you tighten up, please? Huh? Please.
You don't think Miami of Ohio deserves the attention?
Well, they're getting some attention right now. Maybe that'll draw some players there. Maybe he'll be able to go steal from, Akron. They're in Ohio, right?
I think you probably need to do a little bit more at Miami of Ohio to draw some players there.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I look like Alabama coming in stealing from Miami of Ohio. Hey, man, if you don't knock it off, it don't even sound right. It doesn't even sound right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Kicker? Get the bleep out of here, man. The more I think about it, I'm actually getting agitated with this coach.
Okay.
Alabama came here. The bastion of college football. One of like 3 or 4 teams over the past 100 years that you could point to if aliens came to the world and said, hey, what is college football as a program? You go to Alabama, probably USC, Notre Dame, because of the 1800s.
Sure, yeah.
UJ recently. You know what I mean? You could, at the edges, put 1 or 2 other teams in there. They came to Miami, Ohio for a kicker. Illegally. Knock it off, man.
Well, maybe they were done doing illegal tampering with all the other skill positions.
Yeah, okay. So then what they did is pinned the tail on the kicker. They blindfolded the coach, whoever does the illegal tampering, spun him around and said, hey, point, and wherever you go at, we'll find a player for you to go steal.
Did you just assume that Alabama has an official coach in charge of tampering?
Yeah. Because I listen to Coach Martin, who gives no proof, roast somebody in the media, great audio clip, but then it's just like, all right, now what's your question? My question would be like, what's your proof? I'd follow up so quick. I mean, well, then what's your proof? Let's stay on this topic. Since you wanted to try to roast me right now, I got a story. If I had a breaking news sounder right now, I'd play it right now.
You're not wrong.
What's a follow-up?
If that reporter was worth his salt, he would have dug in on the story, but he was scared. You could tell he was trying to move on. He was trying to move on. Just like this Raiders kid reporter. Listen to how awful the reporter is after the Raiders kid goes not get arrested, which, by the way, is gold on television, right?
It's great.
It's totally like a I like turtles / apparently kid moment where you're talking to a little kid and he's talking about Raiders getting arrested. The reporter could have gone 18 different ways. Listen to how the reporter basically melts down on the answer.
Stole them from us, and like,
oh, that's the wrong clip, Brian. Why are you doing this?
You're so into the Super Bowl chances are not good, but what is it going to take for the Raiders to have a successful season, you think?
Not to get arrested.
Okay, that's definitely an interesting one. I would agree.
Fake laugh, and then, okay, that's definitely an interesting one, which, by the way, if you were to translate, if you put that into Google Translate, it means thinking, what the hell do I say next? I am stalling. I am stalling. Right. Ha, ha, ha. Well, that's interesting. Oh, you no-brain-having reporter.
What would you have done? You would have high-fived him? You'd been like, kid, you going places.
Yeah, exactly.
What you would have said.
I would have been like, don't let Chandler Jones hear you, buddy. That was last year.
Jeez.
It's like, who's getting arrested this year?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Having fun today, Brian. When we come back, I got an update on Brandon Aiyuk and Jamar Chase. Their situations continue to develop. How is it possible their situations have more development to take? But it's coming. The Aaron Schachter Show on the way back at ESPN 690.
We would like to apologize in advance for whatever happens on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Are you sure 60% is a round number, Michelle?
No, but it's an even number. Well, the 0 is round.
That's true. 6 is round as well.
Let's go.
Okay.
Got some curves there.
Plus, 5 and 7 have little angles. Some 6 has some junk in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Pumps in a bump, as MC Hammer likes to say. Second day in a row.
The Aaron Schachter Show, weekdays from 3 to 5 on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Hi, I'm Ben, second generation from Beard's Diamonds. We have the best selection, quality, and price in Jacksonville, guaranteed. We buy all of our diamonds straight from the cutter. Absolutely no middleman, and pass the savings on to you. No other jewelry store can compete with our aggressive pricing. So if you're looking for an engagement ring, anniversary gift, or even a Rolex watch, we promise we will beat any competitor's price.
Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
We have big rolls of carpet, hardwood too, laminate, tile, area rocks for you. At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Our prices are low, 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 low.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Don't delay, we'll put it in next day.
At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man. Y'all gonna see us now, you hear? At the Carpet Man, at the Carpet Man.
Visit one of our mega flooring stores or go to carpetman.biz or
call 838-6705, the Carpet Man.
If your morning looks a bit like this, then this is the team who'll get you ready for back to school. Right, Chandler?
That's right. It's a hectic time, but we're here to make things a little bit easier for you.
And Phil knows a thing or two about getting you prepared in the morning. After all, he's been doing this for over 20 years.
From school vouchers to new safety concerns, we have the answers you need. And from the skies to the streets,
We have your first alert weather and traffic reports every 10 minutes.
we got your back for back to school.
Weekday mornings on Fox 30 Action News Jacks.
Jaguars football is right around the corner. New players, existing superstars, and a great home schedule have optimism at an all-time high. Tailgaters delivers a premium experience every game. Tailgaters parking is right across the street from Everbank Stadium. Tailgaters offers clean, permanent restrooms, a full-service bar and grill. All parking spots are on well-kept grass lots. Demand is high, so spaces are very limited. Get your Jaguars season parking today at tailgatorsparking.com. Don't wait and miss out. Go to tailgatorsparking.com.
Hey, you.
What's good, my boy?
Connect with us on Instagram. Search for @ESPN 690 Jax and check out the latest sports news. We're ESPN 690.
What?
We are ESPN 690.
As long as you tracking.
Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Hanging out with you guys today up until 5 o'clock, talking Jaguars and assorted other things, including a new Hell Naw story of the week. 2 in 1 week, Brian.
I'm about to say, man.
I'd love to do it I would love to do it every day. I got to make it open for it.
If only we had the time.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Hey, watch out. I'm hearing that now 5 more national powerhouse programs in college football are starting to circle around Miami of Ohio's roster. So,
is there a punter that everyone is
sitting there
man? Maybe the equipment manager is worth picking up?
I just want Coach Martin to really hunker down, man. You know, lock in with his players because I don't want anybody being stolen away against their will.
Interesting. Well, before we went to break, I was telling you about 2 wide receivers that we've got updates on. Probably the biggest names this offseason. Actually, one of them being Brandon Aiyuk has had his contract status up in the air since really the end of last season when he let it be known he's looking for a new deal. The other wide receiver is Jamar Chase. And while we knew Jamar Chase is vastly underpaid, year 3 of his rookie deal, what we didn't know was that he was going to hold out at camp. They already had an issue on that team this past season with T. Higgins not wanting to sign the franchise tag. He ultimately ended up signing it. He's going to make $20 million this year, and they're going to let him walk at the end of the year. That is the forecast by most people looking at the situation. And then Trey Hendrickson also, he wanted a new deal. Vastly underpaid, maybe a top 5 pass rusher in the league. And I think he's making less than $10 million this year, still on his new deal. So they're going to have to figure out that deal as well. But Trey is in camp. Trey is playing. Camp starts, and Ja'Marr Chase nowhere to be found. And so a lot of people think that situation is actually a little more explosive than it's been thus far. But we start with Brandon Aiyuk. And to bring you up to speed, you may remember at the end of last season, Aiyuk was looking for a hefty contract. The Niners didn't seem convinced. That's when we heard the first report out of Winn-Dixie about the Jaguars being hot on the trail for pick 17 and then a player. And the assumption was that the Niners were targeting a wide receiver already on the team. You could make your speculation on who they were looking at. The names at that point didn't include Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr., obviously, although the 17 pick was on the table, according to the report. Maybe they were talking Christian Kirk. Maybe they were talking Zay Jones at the time. Maybe they were talking, Parker Washington. Who knows? But it didn't materialize, as no one thought it would. Then the draft rolls around, and you hear that the Niners in the first round were not only shopping Aiyuk, they were shopping Debo. Now, they're already paying Debo $25 a year. They're already paying Debo $25 a year. They got to pay Trent Williams probably north of $25 a year. They're paying Christian McCaffrey a high number for a running back. Kittle's got a high number as a tight end. And so they're looking at Debo and Aiyuk going, we got to choose one. And so I think they were just looking to get a good deal, and whoever got traded, the other was sticking around. Nothing materializes night one of the draft. The Niners come out after night one. They say both guys are off the table. At that point, Aiyuk goes a little nuclear. He starts making videos. The video comes out with him talking to Jaden Daniels. The Instagram stories come out where he's like, the Niners don't respect me. They're not talking to me. No one's talking to me. I want to be traded. And so the Niners say, fine, let's find trade partners. 2 materialize, Brian. The Patriots and the Browns. Aiyuk's like, no thanks on both of you. Patriots offered him, I think the report was $32 million. That's hefty money right there.
Yeah.
And the Patriots were going to trade, I think, picks and player. Then the Browns had a deal in place, they thought. And Aiyuk is like, no, I'm not interested in either. Don't want to play with Deshaun Watson as my quarterback. I certainly don't want to play with Drake May as my quarterback. As Merrill Hodges told me, Drake May is going to get me fired. So everyone thought Aiyuk wanted to go to the Steelers because he's got an affinity for Mike Tomlin. But then that didn't materialize right away. Aiyuk threatens to hold out. They finally work out a deal with the Steelers. Doesn't include a current player, but a multitude of picks. And so the Niners go back to Aiyuk. They say, look, you can either negotiate with us, here's the number we're working with, or tell us to accept the Steelers trade. Aiyuk looks at the Steelers with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and he goes, I don't know about this. Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator for a wide receiver. I saw what Drake London did. I don't know about this. I saw Kyle Pitts. I don't know about this. So suddenly Aiyuk was back at the table with the Niners. Fast forward to today, Jahan Dotson, wide receiver 2 for the Commanders, gets traded to the Eagles, who, by the way, now have a ridiculously stunning trio of wide receivers, in addition to Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. That being said, we know that Jaden Daniels and Brandon Aiyuk are boys. They made the video together. So now the rumors are swirling that the Commanders are back in the game. The deal might be back on the table for the Commanders.
Interesting.
So the update on Brandon Aiyuk is just that. No trade yet to the Steelers. The deal is final deal from the Niners. And maybe the Commanders have entered the chat. But it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. That doesn't mean it won't be solved before the start of the season. And then the only other update I've got would be on Ja'Marr Chase, who, like I said, was holding out of Bengals camp. According to a local report out of Cincinnati, the quote, the number I've heard on Jamar's group is 4 years, maybe close to $160 million. 120-ish of it guaranteed. Not only is Ja'Marr Chase looking to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, he's looking to get it guaranteed to the tune of 3/4 of that money. That might be the highest guarantee as well.
Can't do it.
Percentage-wise. And you're talking about a Bengals team that hates doing this kind of stuff.
Won't do
it. Won't do it.
Won't do it.
Can't do it.
Say goodbye to T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Now you're looking to say goodbye to Jamar Chase. Now, look, if you're talking about quarterbacks in the league who can carry teams without star-studded receivers, you think about guys like Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. But, man, the Bengals, without any of the 3 main wide receivers that they've had success with over the last couple of years, I don't care if Burrow has RoboCop's arm. Ain't going to happen.
But to be fair, they had those trios, and I know Burrow was injured, and I know there's been, they haven't won it all with those trios.
They got damn far.
Yeah, they did. But if you're going to allocate that amount of money to one guy, however great Jamar Chase is and will continue to get, I understand that. How much more are you going to have to take away from the offense, from the defense? I don't know. That's going to be tough. But
they got to do funny stuff with it.
Funny money.
They got to do funny stuff with it. I was looking at this 2021 Bengals team that went to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. All right, the next year, they lost the conference in the conference round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they didn't make it last year because Burrow was hurt.
No, I get it.
But every year there with Jamar Chase, they made a deep playoff run.
Even if they paid Jamar Chase, they wouldn't be able to keep those other 2 guys anyway.
Well, Tyler Boyd is gone. He's on the Titans.
Yes.
And they're not going to keep T. Higgins. T. Higgins is done. He's out.
Yeah. So my point, but that's my point. I'm just like, regardless of if he would have gotten that money for some reason and those other 2 guys were still there, they wouldn't be there in the future. So, like, you just got to think about what you're going to be able to take away if you're giving him that money and then guarantees. Yeah, right.
You're the GM. Are you giving Jamar Chase more than Justin Jefferson?
No.
I don't think I am either. Where it's close.
Yeah.
I'll give him more than CeeDee Lamb. Not more than Justin Jefferson. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Quick break for the Sports Center. When we come back, it's This or That, a Brian Middleton production.
Hi, I'm Mike Lister, the founder of Talon Wealth and the host of the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. Like you, I love this country, and I'm very thankful for those that protect us along with our freedoms. That's why for active military and active first responders, if you decide to work with us, Talon Wealth isn't going to charge you any advisor fees. We're happy to explain all the details, but most importantly, thank you for your service.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com to find out more.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Lord License D056341.
Are you new to Jacksonville or just looking for the best care for your pet? Forever Vets will give you peace of mind knowing your pet is being treated like family. Whether it's yearly checkups, urgent care, or boarding at one of our premier pet resorts, your fur baby will always receive the best care from our skilled and compassionate staff at Forever Vet. With multiple locations around Jacksonville, it won't be too hard to find one near you. Go to forevervets.com to find a location, as well as a list of services offered, including a wellness plan, so your fur baby is always covered. Visit forevervets.com today.
I'm Doug Brown. The Eagles make a trade with the Commanders today to get wideout Jahan Dotson and a 5th-round pick. Washington gets 3 picks in that deal, including a 3rd-rounder. Jets coach Robert Saleh says quarterback Aaron Rodgers and the rest of the starters will not play Saturday night against the Giants, meaning they won't play at all in the preseason.
I'm not thinking about it from an injury standpoint because, like I said, you can get hurt at practice. This has everything to do with whether or not we're preparing ourselves properly and not just looking at checking the old coach's box. I feel good about it. We got to go play. Does it really help us in week 1?
Robert Saleh, the Jets open the new season on Monday Night Football on the road against the 49ers September 9th. Panthers quarterback Bryce Young and the rest of the starters will play in the preseason finale against the Bills on Saturday. Buffalo plans to rest its starters. The Dodgers will cut outfielder Jason Haywood, designating him for assignment. Perry Manassian gets a new contract as GM of the Angels. He's been on the job for 4 seasons.
Here's one stat that's super simple to remember. Discover automatically doubles the cash back on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cash Back Match. With Discover, you could turn $150 cash back to $300. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
Ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Phone number is 904-362-9901. Shout out to the boys and girls down there today at Nemours Children's Hospital, 10th Annual Carathon underway. Not only can you donate money by texting Carathon to 707070, but you can also bid on silent auction items. I don't know if you've ever done a silent auction, Brian, but it's kind of fun. Now, granted, it's very much like, bidding on eBay. So if you've ever done eBay, it's somewhat similar. But this obviously goes to a good cause. All the money they raise at Carathon stays here locally. Northeast Florida, it's all to benefit the Child Cancer Fund, an organization I've worked with over the last decade with Carathon. Those are good people over there. Good people. Some of these items are kind of cool, too. A lot of deals around town at restaurants and stuff like that. But, you can bid on being a meteorologist for the day, Brian. You could work with the chief.
Which is great, man. I heard them talking about it when I was down on the board on the other station, talking about the everything that entails. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man.
We're also giving out tickets to every single performance we do at the Farrah and Farrah Performance Studio here in the building. So from time to time, we have bands come in here, play acoustically, special appearances, meet and greets, and signings. So whoever bids on that, we get tickets to all of it. I think last year we did about 35, 40 of them. I also see breakfast with Dex and Barbie T.
Oh, I'm betting.
Do you know Dex and Barbie T? They're the morning show on the Big 8, 95.1 FM.
Never met them.
Those are good people. I like Babs. She's a fun lady. She does a couple of fun videos with us.
Oh.
But I'm going to go ahead and assume they've got a bid there because it doesn't say no bids. But I may try and win that. I may try and win that and then force them to go someplace horrific. I don't know where that is, though. Is there a kale store somewhere? Force them to eat leaves and stuff? Airsoft pack, vacations, all kinds of stuff on here.
Okay.
Shout out to Nothing Bundt Cakes. They had Nothing Bundt Cakes all over that place.
That was a struggle, wasn't it? You were just like...
You have no idea, man. I walked into that room. There was Chick-fil-A from ear to ear in that room and Nothing Bundt Cakes. I'm sitting there going, I'm just going to have a water. Oh, I just got a text from Reg Jones.
Okay.
Here's the latest from Reg.
Reg Jones.
He goes, do you want to talk to us? We're about to hit $100,000.
Oh, look at that.
All right. Let's set that up. Do you have Reg's number?
I do, but can you? Oh, I guess it's not on there. I got
That's
it.
all right. You know what?
I was about to say, just tell me, but
let's play the game. Brian, let's play the game.
Oh, I got the phone.
Let's play the game.
You don't want to fluff her? Okay.
Not yet. Let's play the game.
Let's play the game.
I got to get the game in. We'll go to break. You set up the Reg Jones call.
Yeah.
We'll come back. A little how do you do with Reg Jones, and then we'll talk about my all hell nah story of the day.
Okay, man. Producing on the fly. Aaron
That's
Schachter.
how we do it. But as I said,
an exercise in excellence.
Jump the gun.
It's a Brian Middleton production.
It works.
Yes.
Aaron Schachter. I know you like this music bed right here.
It really brings me back. Makes me
you
feel
back
like
to what, Aaron? You were like
I was in middle school, I think.
Okay, Aaron.
Middle school, walking around with my sweatpants hiked up to my knees.
All right.
Walking around in my John Elway bootleg jersey.
Couldn't tell you nothing.
Nope.
Hat backwards?
Of course, to the side almost. Walking around Jansport book bag with all kinds of ropes on the back that was going to get stolen from me a couple of weeks later on the L train.
You had them Oshkosh Bagosh straps one with like the TLC.
I never did the overalls.
Really?
It was popular when I was a kid. I did wear my clothes backwards when crisscross was a thing.
Because they'll make you. Jump. Jump.
That's true.
Okay. Aaron Schachter, this or that. Give you a topic, maybe. But I'll definitely give you two options, and you tell me this one or that one. And this is semi-themed because I found an interesting article, and it basically was talking about big-time songs that almost didn't make the cut of an album by, certain bands. And
Sure.
you'll know most of these songs, I believe.
Okay.
And with the end of preseason, I'm probably going to double dip and do this again next week in some capacity. But with the preseason wrapping up on Friday, big-time cuts are on their way as final rosters are prepared to go into the regular season for the NFL. So semi-themed. But let's start with the easy one right here with the Jags, okay? More important to their side of the ball, Christian Kirk or Foye Oluokun?
Ooh, more important to their side of the ball.
Talk to me.
It's hard not to say Christian Kirk in this scenario. You saw what happened when he went down last year.
Then don't say.
Jags offense kind of fell apart. Granted, you got a whole Evan Ingram on the other side catching those balls over the middle. But anytime Trevor had a third and medium to third and short and needed to get those yards, he wasn't handing it off. He was throwing to Christian Kirk.
Okay.
When he went down, it was bad. But if Foye Oluokun isn't on the defense, the entire brain of the defense goes away.
Okay.
This is a Yale-educated individual who is the on-field coach for a defense that is ascending. It's a whole new defense with a new language, new schemes, all kinds of new stuff. And a guy like Foye is the exact man you need out there to make sure everything's running the way it should. Foye Oluokun is the answer here.
Look at you, Aaron Schachter. Standing on it. Put your name on it. Put your name on it. There you go. Aaron says it's my show. I put my name on it. Here we go. Aaron Schachter, next up. Almost didn't make the cut. These are the song ones, okay?
Yeah.
First up, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana or Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. Are you familiar with both of those songs?
Of course.
Okay.
I am an old school Bob Dylan hater. Can't stand the music.
You're not the first person I've heard say it just like that, too.
I respect the historic nature of the artist, what he did at a time when no one was doing it. I respect his rebellious nature, basically middle finger to the government, any chance he could give him. I respect all of that.
Yeah.
But I listen to the music from back in the day, especially the popular ones, and I'm like,
what are we doing?
What are we doing here? Guy sounds like he just got out of the dentist office. No thanks. No thanks. Hum that stuff to your dog or your bird or something. Leave the singing to the singers. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Iconic isn't even a word that accurately describes the song, the band, that album, never mind. Literally murdered hair metal. It literally brought an end to an entire genre of music. You didn't see Bob Dylan shutting anything down with his folk music.
Wow.
Nirvana changed the entire world with Smells Like Teen Spirit. So I'm choosing that.
Yeah, man. It's a great tune. I've been using that for songs lately.
It's a good one.
Great tune.
And then Weird Al with a great parody.
Apparently, the band had big doubts about putting that.
I had no idea.
Album. Big doubts about it.
What a great album.
They worried it sounded Nevermind.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were worried it sounded too much like work from the band Pixies.
Oh, the Pixies are a great, iconic, classic alt band.
Okay.
You know their biggest single if you watch the movie Fight Club.
Oh.
It's called Where Is My Mind. It's the song that's playing when Ed Norton is watching the world explode towards the end, or at the end. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry if you're heading out to go see Fight Club 25 years later.
Too late. Spoiler there. Okay, next up, more likely to happen, Jags finishing as a top 5 scoring offense or the Jags defense finishing as top 3 in points allowed.
More likely, Jags finishing as a top 5 offense.
Scoring offense,
or finishing as a top 3 defense in the metric of points allowed.
Yeah.
Top 5 offense or top 3 defense. Here's the thing. I think the Jaguars defense is going to be really stout this year. I think you got a lot of reasons you can believe in the defense. It starts with the coaches, who everyone seems high on. Players, front office, analysts, fans. Everyone loves the mustache. Ryan Nielsen. Oof. I don't know, man. I think it's easier for the offense to achieve this than it is for the defense to achieve this. You can be a top 10 defense. You can even be a top 5 defense and still give up some points sometimes.
Yeah.
For Trev and the boys, I think the ascension is real. I think Trevor has been at times as high as the second best quarterback in the league on those good ball streaks that he's got. And I think that streak goes the whole season this year. I think Trev has a standout year this year.
Look at that. Not what I was expecting. Okay. Almost didn't make the cut. Let's go back to that real quick, Aaron Schachter. check this out. Some heavy hitters right here.
All right.
Royalty, if you will.
Ooh.
Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen or Kiss by Prince.
Man, I know you're trying to walk me down the road here, and I want to give all due respect to the little guy from Minneapolis.
Wow, you about to be mad disrespectful. You want to talk about curses? Holy smokes. I know he passed on, but I don't want no smoke with Prince in the afterlife.
Yeah. I happen to think Queen edges out on this one. Queen's...
What are we doing?
First of all, I didn't realize Bohemian Rhapsody never was considered not to make the album.
Yeah, apparently, let's see, Freddie Mercury and company almost left the song off a night at the opera for various reasons, including its length.
You know, it's a long song, and it's like a silly song. It's a weird song when it gets operatic. You've definitely heard it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was popular when it came out, and then it kind of went away. And then Wayne's World comes out in like 91, 92, and the song gets like a second pair of legs. Like way before streaming ever did this for anybody. It almost never happened that way.
Yeah.
Once the song went away, it kind of went away.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
You know, movies didn't really bring back tunes like that. But then this one appears in Wayne's World and becomes a #1 hit again. Yeah. I don't think it's left the chart. It's crazy. I'm choosing Queen in this one. I know. A lot of disrespect. I know.
Aaron Schachter, this is a precursor to next week, but hotkey that you'd most like to cut, all right? We got...
Now we talking.
Okay.
And we got...
No, they're not.
Oh, come on. That's not even a competition.
These are both heavy hitter hotkeys.
Sure. And now we talking is one of my favorites.
Now we talking.
That's fine. Is one of my favorites.
Okay.
I say it in my house. Like, I'm not even talking to you. I say it to my kids and my wife. They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That being said, the No It's Not hotkey that you brought to the show, where is it?
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Might be the best hotkey I've ever heard in my life.
Could be.
Listen to the knots. Listen to the grits.
No, they're not.
Knots. It sounds like she's eaten nothing but fiber for the last 3 weeks, and she's trying to alleviate herself of the pains that come along with it.
No, they're not.
Knots. Yeah, that's what it sounds like when I don't eat enough vegetables.
Oh.
No, they're not.
That's the hotkey right there.
Okay.
You could put it up against literally any hotkey. Literally any hotkey loses to that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one that beats it. Tell me, what beats it?
I mean,
My
Man,
fake.
we talking.
that's Will.
To this day.
That, like, listen.
We use it a lot. Is it better than No It's Not?
Yeah. It's close, but yeah.
Mm.
The anger in this.
To this day.
Is better than.
No, they're not.
I don't know if it's better. I don't know. Because that's the other thing. You play those clips, and we kind of chuckle. But when you play...
No, they're not.
You get the sports freak mad. And let me tell you something. Mad sports freak is fun radio.
It is.
Yeah.
Unhinged sports freak is scary radio.
Unhinged.
Blood pressure rising.
Yeah.
One more dark horse.
Not around here, Papa.
That's going to be a winner. I'm going to ask you in about
Not
3
around
months.
here.
You're going to be like, oh, this is it. Okay.
You're going to have to cut that one down. You don't respect the entire clip.
What do you mean?
You don't respect it. You always talk over the end.
Oh. Well, that's a part of the hockey. Anyway, next up, Aaron Schachter almost didn't make the cut.
Okay.
The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy.
Okay. Do you not know that song?
I know the song, but
right.
I never knew that was the band's name.
Thin Lizzy, yeah.
Or Billie Jean by Michael Jackson.
Oh, man. Look, The Boys Are Back in Town is a good song.
Boy, hold on. It's not just a good song.
It's a good song.
It stood the test of time.
I mean, again, a song that was helped out by movie soundtrack. I think it was Detroit Rock City or Dazed and Confused, one of those two.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song. But, like, unless you were a fan of Thin Lizzy in the 70s and the 60s, like, you don't know any other Thin Lizzy songs.
Well, you don't have to. You know this song. It's going up against Billie Jean.
Billie Jean is like a culturally important song of the 80s.
Yeah.
It's like part of the fabric of the history of American pop music.
Yeah.
It was one of the biggins that Michael Jackson ascended his second act of his career with. I don't think I want to live in a world without Billie Jean.
Funny that you used that line. You must have read this article. It says,
I did not.
Imagine a world in which Billie Jean doesn't exist.
No, thank you.
Such was almost the case as Quincy Jones, famed producer.
Super producer.
Yeah, man. Didn't want Michael Jackson to include it on Thriller.
Why? Does it say why?
No, but Jackson
Can you call
saw
up
it as a
Quincy?
hit.
I'll wait. Just call him up.
Well, we got to call Rich first.
Oh,
we got to
sorry.
call
Okay,
Rich.
Rich
You know what I mean?
first. Okay, yeah.
And he was later vindicated when it went #1 and won a Grammy.
Yeah.
Like you said, Aaron.
And tremendous music video, too. At a time where people were just kind of figuring out music videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great one.
Gotcha. Aaron, because I'm on a time crunch for a second, let me ask you this last one right here, okay? Oh, by the way, Michelle Thibodeau said that she hates, well, she says y'all, but really, I think she means you.
Oh, she hates me?
No, they're not.
You got it, too?
No, they're not.
Okay. Thought you were going to have the Chips Ahoy ready.
Wait a second, but yeah, I was going to say, did she say hello to you? Maybe the first text was...
Ahoy, matey.
It's weird to play the flute in text, but you know.
Oh, they almost didn't make the cut. Here we go. Sweet Child of Mine,
Really?
Mine by Guns N' Roses,
Stop
or
it.
I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones.
Whoa!
Yeah. Biggins, as you've described it now.
Holy you can't name a winner there.
Well, you have to. That's the game. This or that, man.
Oh, man. They're both equally mammoth-sized.
Yeah.
Both of those almost didn't make the album?
Yeah, Slash was particularly uninterested in the song, but Axl Rose liked the sound and had lyrics for it quickly.
Bet he did.
Yeah, all because Slash was like, yeah.
There are a few songs where Slash wasn't on board, but they ended up making the music. It just shows you who wears the pants. It's Axl in that band. For sure. And then what was the other one? It was
I Can't Get No Satisfaction.
Oh, it was like the biggest song of the Stones' career.
Keith Richards didn't believe in the song.
Keith Richards also didn't believe in sobriety, but, you know, he's still alive to tell the tale.
Oh, man. So, I don't know. Where are you going? We got 10 seconds in the bed.
Oh, Keith Richards had more coke in him than Colombian sharks in the ocean, but he shouldn't be the one making those decisions. Oh, man, I can't pick one out of those two.
You got to.
I'll go with the Stones only because it's had bigger longevity, but it's not like Sweet Child of Mine is going anywhere. It's still iconic. It's still played as much as it ever was at radio. God, I hate that you make me choose between these two. I'm going with the Stones here.
Wow.
And I love Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
I feel like,
do you? Don't feel like it?
I feel like I let a lot of people down.
You did. Don't feel like it. Know it.
Yeah, this hurt, actually. This hurt. You and your silly games, the survey says it don't hurt. This hurt.
That was real disgusting of you, too. You said it like matter-of-factly. You're putting on the act as if it was tough, but then you're like, Rolling Stones.
Listen, I'm very vulnerable right now. You shouldn't be doing this.
Rolling Stones.
You shouldn't be doing this right
Make sure to drop this little audio clip on the Eagle the Eagle site so people can really have a discussion.
Oh, really? I'm gonna get.
You should do this as something on your. Oh, you probably already done something like this.
I have not. I love this stuff.
Didn't make it.
Listen, you're gonna love my new segment on the Eagle, by the way.
I like them.
It was given to me by my program director, and I love it. I'm gonna do it. It's called Classic Rock Beefs.
Yeah,
where I detail fights between classic rock artists. That's all me. That's my wheelhouse.
That's you all day.
Oh my God, yes. Maybe I'll bring it to here too. I might repurpose it. Why am I doing twice the work, Brian?
Because you love it. You got a passion for it.
I do have a passion for it, which is why I work here for no money, specifically at this radio station. ESPN 690. My name is Aaron Schachter. This is the Aaron Schachter Show. If you want to jump in, 904-362-9901. Quick break. We'll check in with Reg Jones over at Carathon when we come back.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Have an umbrella nearby today with on and off showers and a few thunderstorms. Peek at the sun from time to time, too, and temperatures topping out in the 80s, dropping into the 70s tonight with some more rain. And your Friday will be partly to mostly cloudy with showers and a few thunderstorms, highs in the mid-80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Hello, thanks for calling the Crooks R Us support line with your tip of the day.
Beware, this is the time of year you'll see more and more Safe Touch security signs as we draw closer to back to school.
And you might ask yourself, who are these folks turning to Safe Touch security this time of year? And the answer's simple. Parents.
See, parents love it because Safe Touch gives them a notification the moment Junior gets home from school.
And with video monitoring, parents can also see who happens to be with their precious little angel.
So basically, the kids are never home alone.
And the parents are never away from home.
Therefore, expect to see more Safe Touch houses this summer.
And more than ever, remember to stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Remember that, and you too will stay out of the slammer.
No alarm system gives you peace of mind like SafeTouch. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
For a limited time, get a new SafeTouch system at $0 down with a free video doorbell. Plus, add an indoor camera for just $49. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
Got water problems? Call your plumber and ask about Safety Zone Water Systems. The best plumbers use Safety Zone Water Systems. Safety Zone Water Systems are top quality equipment that provide the best water and save money too. Safety Zone Water Systems.
Meet Mike Lester.
Talent is not going to be the right choice for every single person out there, right? Because everybody is different. We do well when our clients do well. We're literally sitting on the same side of the table with them. We're in this together.
Yeah.
When you do well, I'll do well. Once we have that understanding, then we can come up with a plan that's designed to help you be successful in retirement.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talent Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida license D056341.
David Ammon here with Zero Res. So Ammon, your mom mentioned it's been a year since we did a complete house cleaning. The kitchen tile and living room floors are looking pretty dingy. It's time to call Zero Res.
That's right. Most folks know that Zero Res does an amazing job at cleaning their carpets and rugs, but they don't know that Zero Res can clean their tile and grout, LVP, and wood floors.
And right now, Zero Res is offering 25% off all hard floor cleaning. Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Bueller Air & Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's gonna be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air & Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC, owner of Riddle Wellness. Dr. Riddle, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the feet and legs.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable, and we have seen spectacular results.
Call 904-893-5585 today to schedule the free neuropathy nerve damage screening. The screening will tell you if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for the treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe that there's nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. Call 904-893-5585. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited, so call now. 904-893-5585.
We would like to apologize in advance for whatever happens on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Y'all are lying. When are the Olympics really over?
January.
No, they're not.
Wow.
It's probably another week.
Wow.
I'll look it up.
It's over this weekend, Michelle.
Oh, thank God.
The Aaron Schachter Show, weekdays from 3 to 5 on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Having fun today, talking about Jaguars, but also talking about the 10th annual Carathon. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome to the Aaron Schachter Show one of my best friends, Reg Jones.
Oh, I got the best friend.
No. You're one of my best friends.
Thank you.
You don't occupy the top spot. You should know that, by the way.
I do know that, by the way.
Okay.
Hey, Aaron.
How's it going, bud?
Hey, Brian. It's going well, man. We are closing in on $100,000 already.
Whoa, $100,000? Holy
smokes.
Man.
It's been an incredible day so far, but we got all these volunteers here at Nemours. You were here earlier, man, and they're all sitting here talking to each other, and they're not talking to people on the phone, so that's why they need to call 855-636-6877 and make a donation right now.
Or they could text. Can't they text Carathon to 707070?
Indeed they can. Or, like you prepared this, you could go to childcancerfund.org and make a secure online donation.
Yeah. I don't know if Dex and Barbie T are there at this point, but I saw that they have a breakfast up for auction in the silent auction, and I was thinking about I was thinking about bidding on it and then taking them to a terrible place, making them eat some gross food or something like that.
That would be a great thing for our partners down the dial at 95.1. Or you can bid on the Jacksonville's Morning News Experience and come in and just basically come into the studio like you do every morning.
You mean the thing you guys paid me $8 an hour to do 20 years ago?
Exactly it. That's exactly it.
I don't know if I want to bid on that, but thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Brian, this is one of those gimmicks that Rich does when he's at the Carathon. When he's talking to people on the air, if it quiets down in there with the phone calls, he'll start to chastise the people answering the phones.
Got to. I love to hear it.
He's like, hey, too much talking. But when you're down there, you realize that the people answering the phones aren't exactly listening to every word from Rich. They're focusing on each other or the phones. So I think a lot of times they take it to mean that Rich is like yelling at people that they're being too loud. I think it freaks them out a little bit. Rich is out here making demands. You're the Carathon diva today.
I feel like it's motivation. It's motivation for them to reach out to their friends, to their family, and to others to say, hey, I'm waiting on someone to help and call and donate, but you're not calling. So I feel like it's that. Am I shaming people?
A little bit. I think it's actually something you've got really, really good at. Literally every celebrity you've talked to over the last 3 or 4 weeks, you're asking them for money.
Yes. Because it's making an impact in the community.
Totally.
And if I know that we can make an impact in the community and we can help a family, then I'm not shy about it. I'm just going to make the appeal. And what's the worst that can happen? Someone says no. That's it.
Yeah, no, that is literally the worst that could happen.
Yes.
It's slightly embarrassing. Hey, guy, I know we're talking Carathon. You want to give some money? And they're like, not quite. Not really. Like, okay, fine. That's why he's got to ask him on the air, Brian. When you ask one of these celebrities on the air, they got no choice.
I like it. Pressure.
They go, it's basically pure pressure.
Positive pressure.
I mean, I guess. Unless they're struggling, and then Rich is forcing them to throw the money at it.
Jeez, man.
But Rich, the money goes to a good cause, and it stays here locally, doesn't it?
100%. It stays in the community. I mean, this is as local as it gets. There are some great organizations in the community that are helping, from the J Fund and Dreams Come True and so many other organizations that do incredible work. And then on the research part of it, there's just countless organizations that can help. But there's one that means so much to me and to so much to families, and it's hundreds of families every year who have a partner in the Child Cancer Fund. And it's financial assistance. It's sending kids to camp to get away from treatment. It's emotional therapy that they're able to provide. It's talk therapy, and all of it is donated through generous people. So really, it's treating the non-medical side of the cancer, because there's a non-medical side to this hell for these families and these kids, but it takes the community stepping up and donating. 855-636-6877.
Look how slick he is, Brian.
Hey, man, it's like butter. Rich, really quick, man. I had a chance to hear certain points of the Carathon today, man. Great work as usual. But I want to ask you this. How cool is it to interact with some of the families that you've seen over the years? And then one in particular that I'm thinking of, I can't remember her name, but she was almost turning 20, and I feel like you guys, you saw her grow up from being like a young teenager up to that point. How cool is that to see some of these kids who have gone through this terrible situation, with their families, and they're coming out on the other side of it, and they're growing up into young adults and actually living life?
That was Victoria, and you're right. She's going to be 20 in a matter of weeks, and I'm looking at another one right now, Casey, who's 15, and taking a picture of something with the headphones that she's got right here. And Casey, we met 10 years ago as well, and Casey's now on her 11th leg, by the way, because she lost part of her leg due to the tumor and due to the treatment. But to watch these kids grow is it's an incredible thing, because you know that you can come out on the other side, and while there were some scary things that happened, there were some really awesome people who they met along the way, and there was a community that had their back, and it was funded through the Child Cancer Fund. And the sad part, Brian and Aaron, is that, there are some stories that don't end up that way. And then there are some other stories where there are still some challenges for families years and years later. In fact, there was someone who was supposed to be here today, an adult who also lost his leg, and we were going to introduce him to Casey. He's now having his 55th surgery today, and that's why he missed the Carathon, is because he was having to have surgery. And, there's a guy who wanted to show kids that there is a future on the other side. And to see these kids grow up, it means the world, because it means that there is a bright future for them. But when they're in the fight, they need the community to step up and help them. Their family's there for them, their church group, their school, their friends and whatnot. But the community can help the family and can keep the family together. But they got to donate. We need to have the money. And I hate to say just call. But really, when you call, you're making a difference. $100, $10, $1,000, any amount is going to make a difference when you call 855-636-6877.
Or you can text Carathon to 707070, or just donate online if you're by a computer or on your web browser on your phone. You can go to childcancerfund.org. Rich, you talk about doing this for 10 years and seeing some of these kids grow up. Another one of those kids who I've also gotten to see grow up over the years is Ryan. I think the first time I met him, he was just a little boy, and now he's taller than me. The kid's like a beanstalk.
16, tall, driving, and he's taking calls here in the call center. He's planning to work all night. We're going to be here through the night. We're going to keep that call center open, guys, through the night, and he is committed to being here. There's a kid who's post-treatment, who's got a bright future, and he is giving back his time and talent to the community, to the Child Cancer Fund. It's great to see him grow, man, isn't it?
It's like a young broadcaster, that kid. He's talking to me about all our microphone equipment and stuff. I got to sit there and geek out on audio cables and microphones with him and everything. It's great. It's really heartwarming when you think about it. All the adversity, all the trials and tribulations, not just the kids, but the families go through during this journey. But like you said, to see him come out on the other side, all grown and on their way to a normal life, I mean, it doesn't just give them hope. I think it gives us hope, too.
I think so, and I think, we have kids. Brian, some point, it's going to impact us when we see – look at this, you guys are making the phones ring right now. But it's going to impact us when we have a kid who gets sick, and, we got to take them to the urgent care. We take them to the pediatrician, or God forbid we have to go to the hospital for an emergency, and it's this helpless feeling. And when you know that you have partners in your corner and a community behind you to help, it just means the world to these families. And if you have it in your heart to give $10 or $100 or $1,000, you can make such a tremendous impact for these families in the community. But you have to call. You have to call 855-636-6877.
And like you said, you've been doing Carathon all day today. It's going to continue through the overnight, and then we'll be back again tomorrow doing some Carathon. I'll be there live in the morning with 96.9 The Eagle. I'll break a little bit for lunch, and then when I come back, a little bit of the Aaron Schachter Show meets the Rich Jones Show in the afternoon. We'll be broadcasting on both signals, having a fun time.
Can't wait.
Some laughs, some good old time. Now, with you, sometimes it's hard with the laughs because sometimes it gets a little emotional out there.
It can.
You are notorious, man, especially as we get to the end of Carathon. I'll have made it through the whole Carathon. I'll be like dry-eyed with my respect and dignity intact. And then suddenly we get like some big-time donation or some kid's story that really tugs at the heartstrings, and then you start tearing up, and then the whole room starts tearing up, and it becomes like a real big hug session in there.
Yeah. We can even let you break down just a little bit, but it's an emotional journey that we're on.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an emotional journey that we're on, and these families are on their journey as well. And an exhausting journey, but I think, in my opinion, it's the absolute least that we can do to help these kids and this family and these families in our community. But it takes you calling. You have to call, and you have to donate, 855-636-6877. To get your Fanny down here, yes, I said Fanny, I'm that old, tomorrow, and I can't wait, and we'll have a blast. Okay, brother?
We are going to have a blast, man. Thank you so much. You hit $100,000. Okay. The goal is $500,000. Let's help out the kids, man. Rich Jones, you're doing God's work in there, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Let's get it going. Let's get the phone lines ringing, okay?
All right. See ya. That's Rich Jones, live from Carathon down at Nemours Children's Hospital. Once again, if you'd like to donate, that's 855-636-6877, or you can text the word Carathon to 707070, or you can make that donation online at childcancerfund.org. And obviously, it's something that has touched me very closely. I've been part of the Carathon for 9 out of their 10 years now. My mother is a multiple times over survivor of cancer. I've got cancer all over my family, to be quite frank with you. So it's something that is near and dear to me, obviously. But I think you'd be hard-pressed not to find someone out there these days with that kind of connection. I mean, it seems like everyone you know has either been directly affected by some cancer of some sort or indirectly affected through other family members. And when it's an adult, it's not an easy thing. It's adversity, and you feel for people. But when it's a kid, even like the smallest of children, babies, boy, does that make you feel like you got to stand up and help. And that's what we're asking you guys to do today and tomorrow with the 10th annual Carathon. You can read more about it at ESPN690.com if you need that info. All right. It would be a weird pivot to wrap up talking about Carathon, which is like this wonderful charitable endeavor, and pivot to the Hell Naw story of the week. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is just remind you at this point that we do have some auction items up. We talked a little bit a couple of minutes ago about what some of those auction items are for you if you plan on bidding on them. And there are some cool ones up there. Obviously, there are businesses from around town who have partnered up with us and Carathon, not only giving away hours where they will match donations, but giving their goods in the silent auctions. I know I already mentioned Nothing But Cakes, but you got the Caddyshack Ranch and Royal Palm Village Wine and Tapas. You've got the Family Fossil Hunt, which is a lot of fun for the kids. You've got Tony Houlihan's Beaches Basketball Camp, special discounts on there, or admission when you bid on and win in the silent auction. The Troy Michael Trilogy, Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens, 3-hour guided kayak tour. I mean, so many different fun adventures you can have, and you're not just buying it for the adventure like you normally would, but you're helping out a local organization, and you're helping them to raise money for the children who are most vulnerable. That being said, Brian, I think what we should do here is take a quick break. I know it's a little bit early, but let's cleanse the palate. Let's wash it all out. Let's get some frozen wine chips in our mouth, because when we come back, I've got a story that's a nightmare for every man on the planet. What if I use the words toilet snake and told you I got a story coming up with audio? You go, oh, I've snaked a toilet before multiple times. I tell you, hey, maybe you need to change your diet, but not that kind of snake. We'll be back in a couple of minutes on the Aaron Schachter Show.
ESPN 690 is your home for Florida State Seminoles football. Get all the action from the Garnet and Gold on the gridiron.
Florida State opens with a touchdown.
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690 is your home for Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball.
High to right center. It's out of here.
Hear all of the action from the Crustacean Nation.
And Jacksonville's blown this game open.
On Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Rich Jones here. Investing can be more about just filling a bank account. It's about having a secure retirement, protecting your family. Let DLP Capital help you to protect your why. Here's CEO and founder Don Wenner.
I started DLP Capital with an expectation that I could provide my family, my investors, my team members, and the families of my investors with awesome returns, limited volatility, and no losses, all while providing desperately needed affordable housing to the American workforce.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial star invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
We have big rolls of carpet.
Wait, Carpet Man, what else do you have?
LVP.
Carpet Man's
LVP. Carpet Man. Carpet Man's LVP. The luxury beneath your feet. Our prices, they can't be beat. LVP. Carpet Man's LVP. Carpet Man. Carpet Man's LVP. Visit one of our mega flooring stores or go to carpetman.biz. Carpet Man Flooring, your hometown flooring store.
Bueller Aaron Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's gonna be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon! Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool!
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
You can help families struggling with hunger and double your impact. If you donate to the LJD Jewish Family and Community Services Max Block Food Pantry this month, your donation will be matched. Please give at jfcsjacks.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
ESPN.com is your home for all things ESPN 690. Find shows, podcasts, Florida State Seminoles football, contests, and more at ESPN690.com. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901 if there's something we haven't mentioned today that you want to get into. I've been waiting on this story all day, Brian. Waiting on the story. As soon as I saw it, I was like, got to bring it to Middleton. I'm trying to educate you on the dangers of this planet.
Okay.
I don't need you out here thinking that you're safe at all times when you're not. Now, one of the last Hell Naw stories I brought you was out of Vietnam, where an eel had to be removed from a man's body after he put it in there, not through his mouth.
Through where?
I'll choose not to say. You can figure it out. It wasn't his ear or eyes either.
Okay.
And the doctors, when they went to
okay.
well, I'm just saying, if you're looking for entry points, there are only a few. And the doctors went to go take it out. They wanted to take it out through the door in which it entered.
Which would be?
Again, I'm going to go ahead and leave that part out.
All right.
But what they found was that there was something blocking the door.
Which would be?
A lime.
Oh, okay. You will say that. Okay.
A round fruit. So.
Man, hell no.
There it is. Then I brought you the story about a local psychopath who's being accused of killing and beheading squirrels.
I forgot. You're right.
And leaving them as decorative pieces around the apartment complex in which he allegedly lives. I don't understand how this man is allowed to do this, but it's happening here locally. And now I'm wondering if maybe this story takes the cake, Brian. Because the first story, while interesting, funny, and certainly it's easy to see how painful it was with the eel that was chewing through the man's stomach because it didn't want to be in his intestines. That guy did it to himself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you kind of asked for it, buddy. Stupid game, stupid prizes. The squirrel head guy, if he's actually doing it, is kind of crazy. But the people who live there have no control over it. And that's where this story is, too. No control over this. I'm going to go ahead and play you the clip. I'm not going to give you the title or the headline. We're just going to go ahead and listen to the news report.
A Thai man's toilet turned into a bloody bathroom mess after a python hiding in the pipes slithered up and bit his and
Oh, stop right there. What are they doing over there in the Asian Pacific, man? What are they doing over there, man?
Look, it's not Thailand's fault that they got snakes everywhere.
What Thailand news aggregator are you going to get the what? They got too much time on their hands.
Hey, what about me? I'm the one searching these stories out. What do you think my algorithm looks like, Brian?
Boy, no telling.
Listen, it is not safe for TV on my algorithm.
The people that monitor that at their headquarters is like, what is he doing?
Yeah, they're literally hitting the what hotkey over and over again. Oh. Google is looking at me going, what?
Like, we got to watch this man. Put that man on a list. What are they doing over there? Thailand?
You've now distracted me.
Sorry.
We need to restart the story.
No, do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
a Thai man's toilet turned into a bloody bathroom mess.
Man, hell no.
There you go. That's
bloody bathroom mess and toilet should never, ever be in the same sentence. Ever. Oh, you're saying if it's a bloody bathroom mess, you kind of hope it's in the toilet. I understand. I get what you're putting down here. All right. Sorry, I've been distracted. Let's start over.
Okay.
A Thai man's toilet turned into a bloody bathroom mess after a python hiding in the pipes.
Hold on, stop it. Who is this narrator?
I think it's AI.
Anchor?
I think it's AI. It was from a YouTube AP video. And so the AP, notorious for not actually hiring humans. They've just got robots working over there.
I mean, it almost sounds talking with a bit of anticipation.
You think so? You think the robot's excited?
But not disgust anticipation, just anticipation.
It's into it. Yeah, this is an NSFW robot reporting on the NSFW Python.
Start it over and listen.
You got it.
A Thai man's toilet turned into a bloody bathroom mess after a python hiding in the pipes slithered up and bit his.
How do pythons hide in bathroom? Like, can they breathe underwater?
I guess so. I
didn't know they could. Like, I know water snakes can. But like a regular python? Like Jake the Snake Roberts' snake? That dude breathes underwater. All right. Let's start it over.
A Thai man's toilet turned into a bloody bathroom mess after a python hiding in the pipes slithered up and bit his.
It's a nightmare for every man in the world, by the way. Like, every man's nightmare when he goes to some jungle destination is what spider / scorpion / beetle / snake is popping up out of this toilet.
Refused to let go.
Whoa. Okay.
That's wild work, man.
Snake's doing the Sophie Hall here. Hold on.
Hey!
And refused to let go.
Wow. That is
tease me with a good time.
That's a determined snake right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Snake's
boy.
like, I'm not getting off this thing until we start talking about alimony.
At the porn Boonmak Tray was on a squat toilet Wednesday.
I'm sorry, what?
To let go. At the porn Boonmak Tray was.
Oh, that's his name. Okay. I was like, I don't understand these words at all. Okay.
Was on a squat toilet Wednesday when his wife.
Squat toilet doesn't necessarily sound comfortable either.
It's the way you're supposed to do it, right? Squatty potty?
Squatty
That's
potty.
what I'm thinking of.
I actually had one of those. It was
Did you?
Super uncomfortable, by the way, to go to the
Did they
bathroom
pay you to do that? Because I
No,
know it was a big push here.
It was not an endorsement.
In 2017.
No. It was a big push.
Squatty potty.
Pun intended. But no, they didn't pay me to do it. I thought it would be healthy for me, and then I realized it's just really uncomfortable.
It's a different angle, man.
Different angle. You're in the fetal position. Try to go to the bathroom.
You gotta get used to it, man.
No thanks.
At the porn Boonmak Tray was on a squat toilet Wednesday when his wife heard him scream.
I bet he wasn't squatting after the snake got him.
Mock Trey was on his squat toilet Wednesday when his wife heard him scream for help.
And let's tell you this. There was zero bass in his voice when he was screaming for help. When a python comes up out of the pipes and grabs you in the you-know-where, your scream is more like, ah! Much more so than, hey, come help. You're like, call 911.
Do that second scream again.
Ah!
No. The other, hey, come help. Who screams like that?
Chris Canty. Hey, guys, Chris Canty.
Why you?
He's screaming for help.
He actually spoke with us, and here you go.
I'm just imagining Chris Canty in Thailand on a vacation, sitting down on the squatty potty.
Scream. He would have a manly scream. Yeah, it would still be, I can show my face.
You'd be like,
that's
honey,
right.
Chris, you okay? He's like, no, I'm not okay. I'm very much not okay in this scenario.
He's never talking to us again. That's cool.
The terrified Thai man shouted for a rope.
Why is the robot AI doing word alliteration in here? The terrified Thai man?
Boy, got bars, man.
Stop trying to be so cute.
Terrified Thai man shouted for a rope, and his wife rushed in to find her.
What's the rope? What?
I ain't never going to
Thailand, this guy
man.
like a rope black, but what does he use? Where's the knife? Where's the saw?
Now we talking.
Yeah, where's the saw?
Where's the nail gun?
To be fair, though, all those three things you named, I get it. A python's on my woo-woo.
Yeah, but you just go further down the body on the python.
Nah, dog. Python's like, I'm going to really lock in. You play with me, you want to.
It really did.
I'm really going to lock in.
Okay.
No kids ever again.
I'm calling for the lighter fluid before I call for the rope.
We got 3 minutes, by the way.
Husband fighting a 13-foot python in the blood.
13 feet. 13 feet, right out of the toilet, hanging on for dear life.
How are y'all flushing anything?
And
That's
by
my
the way,
question.
I'll tell you this. You know, like that python wanted to be anywhere but where he was. You imagine coming out of this warm place you have found to like make your new home. It's nice and wet down there if you like wet areas, tropical areas.
Yeah.
It's warm down there.
Yeah,
Most people living in Thailand enjoy that tropical weather. Snakes just having a good time. And then suddenly it's like an eclipse happens. The snake kind of comes out. It's like, what's going on here?
Are you defending the snake?
I'm just saying, I feel bad. The snake kind of comes out in the neighborhood.
Interesting.
He's like, this is my house. And then this weird thing is, let me go bite this and see what's going on here. Man's calling for, get the rope!
13-foot python in the blood-splattered bathroom.
Yeah.
The 38-year-old tied the snake's head to the bathroom door and pried the snake's jaws open.
This is like MacGyver level thinking there.
Wow.
I never would have went there.
I guess the adrenaline, after a while, kind of subsides the pain enough for you to think and be like, how can I get this thing off of me?
I've been bitten by a python on the hand when I tried to feed one.
Did you get a rope?
I did not get a rope.
Okay.
It let go of me, and it wasn't like extremely painful, but it was painful.
Oh, okay. Hey, look.
Yeah.
Humble brag. 2 days in a row.
I'm built different.
After passing out from blood loss, he was rushed to the...
Oh! Listen, it's one thing to pass out from blood loss. It's another thing to pass out from blood loss from there. That is not good.
The hospital, and emergency workers chipped away at the toilet and pipes to remove the monstrous serpent, which survived the whole ordeal.
This is the actual guy. Don't you dare leave this show.
I fought it. I called my wife, and she went to get the neighbor. It took about a minute.
The neighbor, you're standing there with your pants down and a snake attached to you. You got the rope tied around his head, and then your wife is bringing in all the neighbors? Last thing I want happening is the neighbors coming over at that point. Hey, honey, maybe you ask him to come back a little bit later.
The neighbor to get here, and all of a sudden, while I was holding it, it began to lose some strength. So I used my hand to pry open its mouth. The snake then released its grip by itself.
This is the doctor.
Then released its grip by itself.
I think he's lucky. We have to watch for infection. If there's none, and if the wound is healing well, he should be able to go home. But if the bite had gone into the urinary tract, it would have been a big problem.
Talk about getting a circumcision in your 30s.
Yikes.
Holy cow. Does this beat the squirrel head story?
Yes.
Does this beat the eel story?
Yeah.
See, I disagree. Power ranking goes eel, snake, squirrel heads. We could debate that tomorrow. The Aaron Schachter Show back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Coach's Show for FSU at 3 o'clock. And then live from Nemours Children's Hospital from 4 to 6 on ESPN 690. You guys go out and make it a great Thursday.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Florida license D056341.
On Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio, Mike Lester, founder of Talon Wealth,
focuses on a key question many share. Do I have enough to retire?
For starters, we'll do the math for you. But to me, it's really more about lifestyle. I want to find out what's important to you. I want to find out what your expenses are. And then I'm going to give you a realistic expectation moving forward of how your money needs to be invested to accomplish your goals in retirement.
Get to know Mike at guardingyournestegg.com.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Got water problems? Call your plumber and ask about Safety Zone Water Systems. The best plumbers use Safety Zone Water Systems. Safety Zone Water Systems are top quality equipment that provide the best water and save money too. Safety Zone Water Systems.
How would you like to get a quick and easy quote for your roof without the hassle? No calling an office, no waiting around, no dealing with people until you are ready. E2 Roofing offers an instant online quote and 3 easy steps. Name, address, email, done. Your roof line is mapped and you have an instant quote in seconds with no hassle or obligation. I'm Elizabeth Evans-Weiss, owner of E2 Roofing. I'm a proud veteran that values your time, money, and roofing experience. Let my team guide you through the roofing process. Visit e2roofingjax.com today and get your quote right now.
The lightest 350 horsepower onboard has just hit the water. Introducing the all-new Yamaha 4.3-liter V6 Offshore F350. With advanced features and class-leading power to weight, every run will be more efficient and exhilarating. The new 4.3-liter V6 Offshore F350 from Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
I'm Josh Scobie, proud supporter of Guardian Catholic School. Did you know that literacy is the most important predictor of lifelong success? That's why Guardian educators focus on teaching literacy skills from pre-K 3 through 3rd grade, so kids can read to learn from 4th grade on. Our teachers and parents can't do it alone, so we're inviting you to get a kick out of reading. Our aim is to provide new hardcover and digital books for each class. Help kids get a kick out of reading. Please give today. Visit guardiancatholic.com and click on Get a Kick Out of Reading.
Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Jacksonville is coming soon and now hiring for technicians, sales, and all positions. If you or someone you know is looking for a new opportunity, apply online at genesisnortheastjacksonville.com today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.